I mean, kind of being away this offseason, coming back into training camp, just how fast his mind is moving. It seems like he's always a step ahead, and his arm is alive right now.
It was the kind of Tuesday that started out seemingly ordinary, but by noon, the internet was ablaze. Taylor Swift had finally done what millions of fans had only dreamed of. She appeared, live and laughing, on New Heights, the wildly popular podcast hosted by NFL superstar brothers Travis and Jason Kelce. It wasn't just any appearance. This marked the first time Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce went public with their relationship in their own words, their own laughter in real time. No more cryptic lyrics, no blurry stadium photos, no anonymous sources. Just Taylor, Travis, and a studio full of chemistry. How did this extraordinary episode come to be? And what actually happened in that laughter-filled studio that sent social media into a frenzy and made even non-Swifties and football skeptics tune in? Let's pull back the curtain on a moment that's already being described as one of the sweetest intersections of pop culture and sports history. Taylor Swift is no stranger to media. She's graced magazine covers, headlined award shows, and performed before millions. But the world had never seen her like this, stepping into a podcast studio, oversized navy blue sweater, plaid skirt, and all, to talk about love, football, and everything in between. This wasn't a carefully choreographed interview with rehearsed answers. This was Taylor, open, slightly nervous, and very much in love. From the moment she walked in, there was a different energy in the room. Even Jason Kelce, who has seen his share of NFL pressure cookers, seemed a little starstruck. And Travis, let's just say the pride in his smile was impossible to hide. The podcast kicked off with Travis, beaming, introducing Taylor in the way only he could. Today, we've got a very special guest. The one who made me believe I might actually dance to pop music on an NFL stage. Taylor's laughter filled the studio, and suddenly, everyone listening felt like they were in on a private inside joke. There's a reason the hashtag, Taylor on New Heights, shot to the top of global trends within minutes. It wasn't just the novelty of seeing a pop star and a football player together, though that was part of it. It was the way they looked at each other, the quiet confidence of two people comfortable in their own skin, willing to share a little piece of their world with millions. One of the moments that instantly became internet legend involved nothing more than a microphone. Taylor, a little unsure of the podcast setup, was fiddling with her mic. Without missing a beat, Travis leaned over and gently adjusted it for her, his touch so natural and caring that fans immediately dubbed it the softest podcast moment in history. Clips of the gesture spread like wildfire, accompanied by comments like, "This is the healthiest celebrity relationship I've ever seen," and "Find someone who looks at you the way Travis looks at Taylor." For an hour, Taylor and Travis let their guard down. They swapped stories, some funny, some sweet, all deeply human. Travis told the story of accidentally knocking off Taylor's holiday wreath during a playful moment, earning a mock scolding and a fit of giggles. Taylor shared what it was like to see Travis at her era's tour concert, sitting incognito among thousands of fans, waving a glowing light stick like he'd been a die-hard Swiftie his whole life. "I thought I'd just sit for a bit and leave," Travis admitted. "But that night I basically danced for 3 hours straight. I lost my voice screaming all too well." Taylor's eyes sparkled as she listened, the affection between them palpable. Taylor also confessed her nerves. "I used to get anxiety before album releases," she said. "But I never thought I'd be more nervous to sit in a podcast studio with a football player than to perform at the Grammys." Her honesty only made fans adore her more. For decades, celebrity couples have wrestled with the question of how much to share. In an era of relentless paparazzi and rumor mills, privacy is precious and going public risky. But Taylor and Travis didn't just go public in the traditional sense. They invited listeners into their world, not as distant fans, but as friends around the same table. What made the episode so compelling wasn't just the novelty, it was the authenticity. Taylor didn't dodge the tough questions. She acknowledged the pressure, the scrutiny, the constant speculation. "It's weird," she said, "to have people dissect every interaction. But honestly, it's nice to finally just be ourselves, even for an hour, and let people see we're just two people who like each other." Jason, always the wisecracking older brother, chimed in with playful jabs and heartfelt advice. "Travis, you better treat her right," he joked. The dynamic between the three was electric, equal parts chaos, comedy, and genuine affection. As the podcast aired, social media exploded. "The most wholesome content on the internet today," wrote one fan. "I didn't expect to cry over a football podcast," admitted another. Sports journalists and pop culture critics alike praised the episode for breaking down the wall between two seemingly separate worlds. But perhaps the most touching reactions came from couples who saw something of themselves in Taylor and Travis. "They remind me of me and my husband," one listener shared. "Different worlds, but the same kind of love." For years, Taylor Swift has written songs about heartbreak, hope, and healing. She's chronicled every chapter of her love life in lyrics that have become anthems for millions. But here on a football podcast, she was writing a new kind of love story, one not set to music, but to laughter and real-life moments. Public appearances for celebrity couples are often tightly managed, but this was something different. The New Heights episode wasn't just a media event, it was a cultural moment. It showed that love can be found in unexpected places, and that sometimes the bravest thing two people can do is simply show up together and let the world see their joy. When the episode wrapped, Taylor left listeners with a simple message. "Thank you for having me here. I don't know if podcasting is my sport, but recording with Travis is a special experience." Her words echoed the sentiment of everyone who had tuned in. This was more than an interview. It was a celebration of love, vulnerability, and the magic that happens when two worlds collide. The reverberations of that one episode are still being felt. Sports fans, many of whom had never listened to a Taylor Swift song, now found themselves humming Love Story. Swifties, in turn, started following the NFL, if only to catch a glimpse of Travis in the stands at her next concert. But beyond the headlines and the hashtags, there was a quieter, more enduring impact. Taylor and Travis had shown, in real time, what it looks like to support one another, to laugh at yourself, and to find joy in the ordinary. As the world waits to see what comes next, another podcast appearance, a Super Bowl duet, perhaps even a song inspired by this chapter, one thing is clear. This wasn't just a fleeting media moment. It was the beginning of a new kind of celebrity love story, one that's as real as it gets. And in the end, that's what makes people keep coming back for more. Not just the glitz and the gossip, but the promise that every now and then, in a world of noise, two people can find each other and make something simple feel completely extraordinary. So if you missed the podcast, don't worry. This is just the beginning. Because when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce tell their story, the world listens. And for once, it's not just about the music or the touchdowns. It's about the moments in between, where love grows and life happens. And that, as Taylor herself might say, is a story worth singing about.